Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how to make this easel card, and what makes this easel card rather special is the fact that it is actually a single fold easel card. So I know you're asking, what does that mean? It means that when you open this up you actually have a single fold card here. So you've got plenty of room to put another sentiment in there if you like, plenty of room to write what your greeting is. You will notice that on the inside here I have put a flower there, which was not part of my plan, but I had a problem with the ribbon. I'll explain that when I get there, and I needed something to hold it in place, so that's what I did there. The idea I found on Pinterest, and it was made by a young lady who used to be a demonstrator in Japan before we closed Japan down in December the where are we, 22 December 20, yeah, 2020. As I say, I'll give you the link, but she had used the poinsettia flowers here, and it was absolutely stunning, really gorgeous. So the video is in Japanese, but there are some small subtitles underneath. I think with these though you could actually just watch what she's doing and understand, but the words are there if you need them. Now I'm going to do first of all let me show you my first card. Okay, so this was my first one. I did it as a Valentine card. This ribbon was easier because that has been cut on the edges. It's been taped on there, double-sided tape, so there wasn't a problem at the back. But I wasn't happy with this embossing folder because it was so bumpy, and I thought, well, next time I'll do it all the way round, and it would be adhered in place by one glue dot. And I did think that maybe the glue dot would hold it, but as today has worn on, the sides have been dropping, hence putting the flower on the back. No flower on the back there because this was cut. Okay. Right, so I'm not going to do any stamping for this video because I think there's quite enough to do without that. So I'm going to start off with all the card pieces that you're going to need. Inches I'm giving you are for A4 cardstock users. I'm sure that I can work out the letter size inches, and I would definitely do the metric for the A4 cardstock. All measurements will be in the box below the video, and I have noticed that if you want to copy and paste the measurements and the other information that I put below, it's a lot easier if you go to my blog, and at the bottom of the same day that I post the video, it's much easier to do a copy and paste from there. It comes across like for like, whereas if you do it from below it just comes as one long line, so you have to go through and separate it all. Plus the fact you get on my blog it will be underlined. If I've used, which I do use, dark headings and such like, none of that comes through if you take it from underneath. Okay, I've always resisted trying to make everybody go to my blog when I do a video, which is why everything's down there, but I found that out to myself the other day when I was copying a video. Yeah, I still need reminding when I go back. So first of all, you need one piece of cardstock, which is 4 1/8 inches by 11.5 inches, scored and folded at 5 3/4 inches. You need another card base. Now this one is going to measure 4 1/8 inches, which is the same width, but it's 11 1/4 inches, which is ½ an inch shorter than that one, and it means that you need to score at 5 5/8 inches. So you will finish up with 2 cards like that, so one is shorter than the other one. That's correct, okay? Then you will need 2 pieces of fresh Freesia cardstock, and these measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. Then you need 1 piece of basic white cardstock. I probably said whisper white there, did I? It's all basic white. And that measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. That's 1 piece. And 1 piece of the designer series paper, and this is from Heart and Home, and this measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, which is the same size as the white piece. Then you need 2 pieces of fresh Freesia, and these measure 3 7/8 inches by 2 1/2 inches. And then you need 2 pieces of DSP, which measure 3 3/4 inches by 2 3/8 inches. For the flower tub, you need a piece that measures 3 1/8 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And then for the stopper, which is going to be the sentiment, you need a piece of fresh Freesia that measures 3/4 inch by 3 7/8 inches. And for the sentiment, you need a piece of basic white, which measures 5/8 inch by 3 3/4 inch. And this one I'm making as a get well soon card. And then for the topper that goes across the flower pot, you need a piece that measures 3/4 inch by 4 1/8 inches. So first of all, let me tell you the stamp sets and everything that I've been using. So let's start with, right, now this is a stamp set for the dahlias. This is a stamp that I've used for the flowers, and that's the one that I've used for the leaves. This is the set of dies. One of the things I love about this die set, especially doing a card like this when there are so many flowers, there are 2 dies to the flowers, and there are 2 dies for the leaves as well, which obviously cuts your time in half. I love this. I haven't used it, but it is nice. And I also like this idea, which is this stamp where you've got room for a sentiment and a decorated bit, and then you can die cut it. That is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. This to me is a fabulous stamp set. The only challenge I have with it at the moment, these 2 little flowers here, there are 3 dies, and I haven't sussed out which one goes with which, and which of these is either a double or maybe one doesn't have a stamp. I don't know. I'm confused about that at the moment. But this is what this die looks like. Isn't it stunning? And these are the 2 bits I've used, and that one. Okay. In fact, well, I'm just going to decide. No, I can't, can I? It's alright, I'm talking to myself. So that is a bundle. It's the stamp set Dahlia Days, and it's Dahlia Detailed Dahlias for the dies. And the other ones that I've used at the back of my flowers, because the back flower, the top flower there, is a lot higher than here. It is supported by these other ones, but I wanted it at the back, so I did a stem there. And rather than, in fact, I think you can see on this one, I didn't actually cover it up. That's right, okay. Because I thought that it was going to be showing. Let's go back. When I did this one, which is the first one, I thought I'd use a green stem. Not a good idea, obviously. So when I did that one, I did a white one. But by then, I decided to put covers on the back of all of these to tidy it all up. So, Confuser Coulston, yes, that's me. But to do the stems, I used these 2 dies here. And this is from the Daffodil set. Now we'll do a video using these, because this is a flower that needs to be built up, okay? So I'll do something, quite a simple card, but I'll spend time showing you how to put those together. And I use Timeless Tulips for the Get Well Soon, that one there. Okay, so here I've got a Valentine's card, birthday card, and now I'm doing Get Well. Also the flower pot here and here, it's all been embossed. Now, as I said, that one I felt was, the emboss was too much, and I used the bark embossing folder. But this one is much, much lighter, and it's called Time Worn Type. Okay, so what are we going to do first? I'll move these out of the way. And we'll start with, in fact, I was so concerned that I'm going to get confused today that I've done myself step-by-step guide so I know what I've got to do first. Right, with the larger score card base, the one that's 11.5 inches, we need to do a little bit of scoring on here. As it's only one line, I'm going to be using my trimmer. All you need to do is score this at 3 inches. Let's move over a bit. I'm hitting my tripod again. Okay. So that's all we need that for. And of course I tidied up before I started videoing. So everything's been put away again. Now fold that one over and score it. And what I have been doing a lot lately, I can't remember who I learned this trick from, but when I get rough edges here, which I was getting because my blade needed changing, which I have done now, I find that if you use the sand end of one of these Tombow Mono erasers, it's a sand and rubber eraser. I believe you can get one that's all sand, but if you just rub that down there, that takes all those bits off. I used to use a nail file, which, yes, it does work, but I just find this is so much easier. Right, so that's that. Next we need to add the layers. As you have already seen, I've already added all of these. So I'm going to do the 2 big ones first. Now, not on that one. So you now need your little card, which is 11.25. So this card is going to be going in like this. This is your front. So the front is going to have that, and inside is going to have that. Now, I did say I wasn't going to do any stamping. That's not correct, because I just want to decorate this. Let me just show you the inside of the red one. I did those little flowers. Okay, so I'm just going to do some little flowers for those, I think. Did I keep my stamps out? I'm only going to do one of them, but I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia ink. Just turning it around slightly, each direction, each stamp. Oh, almost got an ombre effect there, if I'd done that one a bit lighter. Okay, so put that one up there. So I'm going to pop these in. I'm using Tombow, of course. So that's got to go on that side. Oops, come back, come back. And that's my bit of kitchen roll, just in case I need it. When I did the first card, the red one, I and showed hubby. As you know, he's my best critic. And he said, "Oh, it looks like a gravestone." Oh, thank you very much. It's a good job I know where he's coming from. But do you think that looks like a gravestone? We're talking about the red one here. Not that I think the fresh Freesia looks any different. But, oh, it did make me laugh. Now, does this have a right way or a wrong way? Oh my goodness, I think it does. Oh, okay. Don't think I've used this before. Now, when we get to the particular bit, I'll tell you why this one's a bit smaller. There we go. Now this one, these other two layers, one is going to go there and one is going to go there. Let me just double check that. Yes, that's right. Okay, so let's do that one first. I did change the measurements slightly to what it said on the video. In fact, it would appear that Japan uses letter size cardstock, going by the measurements that she was using, because I've had to change this to A4. So if anybody knows if that is a fact, if I put that up the right way, no, it's up the wrong way. Talking too much. Oh, are you going to come off without doing any damage, please? Oh, come on, you're coming. You don't want to, do you? No. Okay, you can stay upside down. Oh, so that one has to go that way, doesn't it? It's got to go upside down to be the right way up, if you know what I mean. Yes, that's it. Okay, so that's that. That's that. Right, okay. Done that, done that. Now we need to put the small card inside the big card, because what's going to happen, that's our easel bit, and then this is the bit that's going to be opening up. Okay, now obviously when you put this one inside, it's going to be pushed down to here. If I show you this, you'll see it doesn't come right to the end, which is why this one's a little bit short, cut shorter. Okay, so make sure that you're going to be putting it in like that, and do make sure it opens up this way. Okay, do it that way, and it's not right, but it would work. It would work if you did it the wrong way round, wouldn't it? Not quite as nice, but it would work. Okay, so if you do put it in the wrong way and you can't pull it up again, get it out, don't worry, keep going, don't waste it. She says double checking. So what I do is I try and line that folded end up with this bit down here. Okay, now they should both be the same width because they're 4 1/8, and you will also find that you will have a gap up at the top there from the top of here to the score line, and that will allow you the room to fold that over. Okay, there we go, that's fine. Now I'm going to follow what you're doing. Make the flower pot. Okay, so you have this, and you want to mark 1/2 inch on either side down here at the bottom, just very gently with a pencil. Right, that's 5 inches, so that's half. Move that along, so that's inches, and that's 1/2 inch. So we're going to bring our trimmer back again. And what we need to do, we need to slice from that 1/2 inch up to the corner, and then that 1/2 inch up to the corner. Okay, so the corner, and make sure that you cut from this end. If you bring your cutter down to the point, there's a very strong possibility that you'll ruck that corner up, and you don't want that. Okay, so that one's down, and slice that off. We don't need that. Turn it around, and then you've got your 1/2 inch there, and the point, and cut from that side. Okay, so that's your flower pot. Now you should have a topper for your flower pot. Now, why did I say I needed to measure this for? Right, measure 1/2 inch again. This was just as a guide, I think. Okay, so if you measure 1/2 inch again, and then 1/2 inch on that side. That's not going to work perfectly, is it? No, not really. Anyway, this is going to be adhered on here eventually. So what we want is for the base of the pot to line up with the base of the card, and then we need the topper to fit onto the pot, but only come as high as that score line. But there looks as if there's a bit of rough edge in there. Oh, much better, it's lovely. Right, and at the moment I haven't quite worked out how to make this very precise with my instructions. I have just had another thought. Now that line, that cut line, looks about the same distance from that 1/2 inch as that does. Now, because this is a slanted line, I think if I put a slanted line there and a slanted line there, that must tell me where to glue it, surely. Let's see if this works. In fact, I want to put the glue on there, don't I? Because I don't want it to go over the edges. Okay. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue along the top here. I don't want it to come out too thick. Okay. Now I'm going to put it back on here, glue facing upwards, lining it up at the bottom there. That's it. Is that going to be right? Yep. So that should that means that didn't come over very well. That looks more like it. I'm not worried about this being absolutely spot on. I just want it to be very close. Oops. Now Tombow's got really very sticky and it's not going to be very cooperative with me. Oh, there we go. That is spot on, look at that. Okay, now we need to remove our pencil marks. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we will emboss. Bring my big shot up. Now on this occasion, because I don't want my piece embossed too much, and knowing my machine, what I'm going to do is I'm not spraying it with water. My big shot, I know, is quite loose, and I've already tested this, so I know that it's going to be okay. I'm going to use a sandwich that Stampin' Up recommend, but I've also got a shim here as well. So where you've got Stampin' Up, this is the front of your embossing folder, which matters on an embossing folder like this because it's got writing on it. So I'm just going to make sure that that is straight with that black line. Close that. These plates are from my cut and emboss, and it tells me that for a 3D embossing folder I need plate 1. So the fold goes in the machine first, and it tells me I need plate 4 as well. And because I know what my machine is like, it will need that as well. Let's see what we've got. There we go. There's quite a lot of embossing on that, isn't it? So pleased with that. Let's put that back there. I don't think I'm going to be using this again. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to adhere this in position right there so it meets up with that score line. So I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow all over on this because it's embossed. It will only adhere in certain places. There we go. I find it easier to work sideways. I'm not sure if that's normal or a bit cranky. if it comes over the edge a bit like mine does, you can always trim it afterwards. I'm not sure mine's enough to worry about. I don't know. I'll see what it looks like once it's all done. So now what we need to do is we need to cut up here and off, up here and off. Now I prefer to use bigger scissors for this, and what I do is, on this card it doesn't matter so much, but it was more important on the one where I'd use a fresh Freesia base, but I like to turn my scissors at a slight angle so that when it's cutting it cuts sideways rather than cutting straight down where it might come outwards. I'd rather go inwards. You'll find you probably need to tilt your card to get the light shining on it. And then I'm going to use small scissors. Oops, I don't know why I left them right the way over there. I'm going to use small scissors just to do this one. Do be careful because what's happening on the reverse will be seen. Determined, it's not going to let go. Oops, come back. Oh, yes it did let go. It's got an angle there. Not the best one that I've done, never mind. Now again to cut this side, not quite so easy because you're going at a different angle. Just take your time. I'll finish off with my smaller scissors. And then this bit. This should be the easiest bit of all. Or maybe not. Oh, there we go. Yep, that's good. Okay, so that's what our flower pot looks like. That's pretty good, isn't it? And then we're going to be popping it up like that. So let's... where's all my other bits gone? Don't panic. What have you done with them? Oh, on the floor. There we go. So that's the sentiment. That should fit on really nicely. There we go. I think I might just cut a little bit off there because it looks a little bit too long. Of course, you know I can't cut a straight line. But what I should have done was put it on there. That would have helped, wouldn't it? There we go. I'm going to pop this on here. What I excuse me. What I used for adhering this on is the self-adhesive foam sheets. Don't think there's right or wrong there, is there? There we go. foam sheets come like that. I think they're 4 inches by 4 inch squares, and I think, yeah, this is the one I need. What I do to measure how much I need, I just place my piece of the layer that I want, and then I mark here, just a little mark like that, and therefore I know to cut a bit short of that, because obviously I don't want it edge to edge. And then I do exactly the same on the side bit up there, which is how come I finished up with that. And that should finish up fitting just nicely like that. Now, one of the differences between the two cards that I've already done, I don't know whether you noticed it, but one pot stands higher than the other. Let me just get this done first. There we go. Thing with video, you're not going to be able to see really well the effect of it, although you can see if you concentrate on how much space there is there. Okay, you can see this one is a lot lower down, so it really depends on whether how sloping you want this. This is the one that looked like the gravestone, so maybe you'd like to go this. This one I measured 2.5 inches up from the bottom. That one I didn't measure at all, but it is, say, somewhere between 2 7/8 and 3 inches. So what was that, did I say? Or whatever I said, I should have said 2.5 inches. Not much difference in it. Let me go 2.5 to 3/4. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go 2 3/4 on this one. I do like checking, seeing what different things look like. So open that up, and 2 3/4 inches. My pencil, and 2 3/4 inches. So what I will do is I will do this so that I can just slide it down a bit to cover up my pencil marks. And I know they're not going to be seen because I've got all of that there. And to make this easy while I'm putting it on, I'm going to put some Tombow on here, because that will allow me to slide this about a little bit. I'm not doing too much obviously because I don't want it oozing out. I just want enough to be on there to allow me to slide it. Oh, I should have, oh no, yeah, you did measure. I really shouldn't make videos of an evening. I'm getting too tired. Right, so if I put that like that, and then I would just double check. What do I do with my ruler? Okay, so the black line is at the bottom of the fresh Freesia. Oh, spot on, look at that. Okay, that's good. And therefore, that's what I've got this time. Okay, so now we need to do our flowers. Now I have, I'm one short. No, I'm not really, am I? Because it's over there. So I've got 1, 2, 3 that have got 2 sets of leaves on, 2 that have got 2 sets, 1 set rather, and 2 without any. This is if you want to do the way that I have done it. So the first one I did was down here, and when you adhere anything here, just make sure that it's going to be covered up when the card is closed. Oh, that's better. Okay, now this I am going to pop up on dimensionals. One packet of regular size ones and 1 packet of small ones. So that is just going underneath that bit there. And just some little ones to look like ears from this side, and one little bit of support in the middle there. Just drop all my rubbish over there with all my little post-it notes. I don't know whether you can hear that whirring noise. I've actually got my ceiling fan on. I have the hottest room in the house here, even during the winter. There we go. So that's that one. And now to adhere the flowers on here, I'm going to follow my plan here because I know it's worked. If I leave it like that, can you see it as well? Yes, okay. Now I should have somewhere. No, that's not the one. I should have a white stem that I've already adhered a few layers onto. So it's all nice and thick. But as I can't find it, I'm going to have to work without it. I tend to do 3 of these and then glue them all together just to give it some strength. But the flower will be adhered against these other ones here, so it's not as if it's going to be floating on its own. And also I want to show you what I do with my flowers. Okay, so this is the back. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's visible from the back and I want that to look as tidy as possible. So first of all, I take my flower and my leaves. I just put a little bit of Tombow on there. Decide where I want the leaves to go. And I think about there. And rather than this is what I'm trying to tidy up from the back view. So I've die cut some plain ones and then I'm going to just line them up on the back. It's a bit of a game trying to find out where they fit. In fact, I think that's there. The one that I look for is, can you see that one there? It's like leaning over, if you like. All the others, apart from another one that's leaning, that one there I think it is, but that small one that's leaning is generally the easy one to locate on here and then on here, and then put them both together. Another advantage of putting this on the back is it also gives a bit more strength to the flower. Okay, you may think that doesn't look any tidier like that, in which case, you know, don't worry about doing it, but I do, so which is why I do it. Right, so I'm going to take a chance with this one. Right, there's one with 2 on it. Now normally what I would have done would have put that underneath that. Well, I'm not going to be able to, so not to worry. To adhere this on here, a mistake that I made before, I want these to be more or less up at the top, but because this is bent, when I put this on, I concentrate on making sure that that is straight in comparison to those, and then that just goes on there. In fact, I might as well make that bit on the outside if it's going to be visible. So I'm putting the glue on what is really the wrong side of the die cut. And I shouldn't have done that much either. Make sure that's straight. Okay, where's my kitchen roll? If I had that, if I could find the other one, I could just pop it on top at this stage. But I don't think... Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay, so I've got a nice thick one there. That's better, you can see it now. But that's not the same one. Oh, can you come off? Will you come off? No, you're not going to, are you? That should really be going around there. Let it go. Not enough to worry about. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put this on here. Let's see if that's dry enough to take the sticky off. If not, I'm going to use my embossing buddy. If you use an adhesive eraser on something that is still quite wet glue, it will tear your cardstock. Ask me how I know. No, I didn't think about doing this before, did I? Dry it off and then remove it. You see, I'm learning all the time, which is why I appreciate it when you share your tips with me. Okay, so when that goes down, how high is the flower coming? Up to about there. Okay, so I'm only going to glue this from there. As you'll see, this will be quite wobbly. Just mop that a bit. I don't want too much on there. There we go. as you can see, not strong enough to support itself. So the next one that I did was a single, and I brought it over here. Okay, so this is the one I'm doing. Leaves are up here a bit, they come off the edge very slightly, but that has been popped up with dimensionals just at the bottom. Now this, when you get to this stage, you need to make sure that your dimensionals aren't going to be seen from the back. Let me see which way you're going. Up there somewhere, so you want to be about there. So what I tend to do is big one on the in the middle and then a smaller one either side. Okay, I think I've probably taken that a bit further over, which maybe I shouldn't have done, because that's going to, might stop it coming over into my envelope. That's better. Okay, next one I did was that, which was also a single, so that's also going to need, ooh, I went over the edge there as well, didn't think about it on that one. Okay, so we need on the bottom half there, one big one, small one, small one. The little gems that I've got in the middle there, they were the 2020 to 2022 in colour frosted gems or something. I've got the packet here, so I'll let you know. There we go, that's good, that's still not showing. Each one you put down, do make sure that you are okay. And now I've got a double one, which is going to go here, so that covers up all of this, but my stem comes down too far. Pull that very gently. There we go. Cut that off with my non-stick scissors. Okay, so that was over there like that somehow. Just cover that up. So really, I could do dimensionals all round, except that bit there. Okay, so we do it down that side and that side. We leave the centre bit clear. I think I can put the leaves down okay. Let me have a look, see what happens with that one. Oh, that needs to be turned slightly. Okay. So just by moving it, you can see what you need to cover, and also if you're exposing any dimensionals. So now let's do that again. Oh, what have I got there? Oh, that feels like glue, that'll come off. Okay. Oh, I know what I do. Before I move on, I'm going to put a little bit of glue behind those petals and those petals to start holding on to this. Just a little bit, not too much. Okay, and then behind those two. want to go to all this trouble and then stand the card up and find that the back one wobbles over. Okay, so that goes there. No dimensionals peeping through. Okay, that's good. And then it was just these last two. I'll show you that. Why have I got one left over there? Oh, maybe I put one in for that back. I suppose I could put one in the back for anyway. Right, so these just come on here somewhere. So it's dimensionals on the front. Or would it be easier to put dimensionals on the back? So it's these two. So if we do one there. One there. And we just do one at the bottom, I think. Let's see if that works. Right, it's got to go. No, don't be silly. If you're going to do it, you've got to put it on the front. We do it down there. There we go. So that's worked out all right. Let's move it that way so you can see it properly. And then let's just do that last one. So what did we do? We put two large ones here. See how the time is moving on. It's a good job I'm not doing stamping as well. One on the front. Right, oops, oops, oops. Okay, there we go. Right, I was following that, but it looks a little bit different, doesn't it? So all I need now are my embellishments, and then that's today's card done. So where's my gems? These are the little gems I was referring to, in colour jewels they call it. And I like this little purpley one, which is fresh Freesia. Good job that's not visible, because I've only got 4 of these left. And then I've got one big one, which I'll save for the front, I think. Come on. There we go. There we go. And the other embellishment that I use for this card, in fact I've done it on all of the others, are these beautiful little burnished brass butterflies. If you don't like the butterflies, we do also have the bumblebees, which are in the main annual catalogue. Oops, turn around. Dare say you do fly upside down, but not on my card. Let's have a little one flying on one of the that's it, I'm not going to put any more on. So we just need the ribbon then, don't we? What did I do with that? Oh, that was the other flower, wasn't it? Because I knew I was going to do this. I really hope you like this video, and I really hope you're going to give it a try. As I say, I will give you the link for the young lady whose video this was. The only name that I have in my mind is it's HMADE, as in handmade, all as one word, but just HMADE, and I think it's Studio. But I'll make sure that I get it right for you. But it does look really stunning with the poinsettias. Oops. There we go. Oh, it looks like it's going to have to be a bit higher. Oh, that's a nuisance. Okay. Can I adhere this down a little bit? It should be a little bit easy because I'm going to put my flower over it. So I put that one there. Just hope it all covers it up. Oh, that's good. Okay, in fact, I'm not going to fiddle too much with this. Tighten it up. There we go, and just a blue dot at the back to hold it. Can't really, oh, that's, oh, maybe I can do it with a spatula. Not tried it before, but there you go. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. There we go. So for help on the back, on the front, come back you, I'm going to put you inside. You're not really good for getting this off, are you? There we go. Yep, that's good. So let's pop this on. Make sure there's quite a bit of glue there because I want it to hold the ribbon. Turn the card up the right way, that'll help me decide which is a good way for this to go. There we go. So there you go, there's today's card. I need to play with the bow for a little bit, but I can do that off screen. You don't need to watch me. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? Watching somebody fiddle with bows. So there we go. I hope you have enjoyed today's project, and I really hope you give it a try. It really is something different. I don't know, can you see all that? I think so. So many thanks for joining me today. As I say, all the measurements and the products that I've used will be listed in the box below the video. There'll be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop, and if you do shop with me, first of all, thank you very much for your business, but please make sure that you quote the HOSTESS code during any orders during January, and then when I send my happy mail at the beginning of February, I'll also be able to send you some free product. But if you put a big order in for £150 or more, don't use the code, because you'll earn your own free Stampin' reward, so you can choose your own free products. And we do have celebration going on at the moment, so for every £45 or €60 of your order, you can choose a gift from the celebration catalogue. If you don't have a copy and you would like one, you don't have your own Stampin' Up demonstrator, please let me know and I'll be happy to put one in the post for you. My email address is janb@janbcards.com. You do need to live in the UK, Netherlands, France, Austria or Germany for me to be able to send you one. They're Stampin' Up rules, I'm afraid, but I do have them in German and in French as well. I think that's probably about it for now, so many thanks for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time, and in the meantime, please take care, stay safe, happy crafting, cheerio.